Alright, I got one viewer in here. Oh, I get more soon. Look at this for a second. What's up, man? Well, we got 2 viewers. I wonder who the second viewer is. Freaking snowmobiles. So loud. Yeah, if I get one more viewer, I'll actually start the stream. I'm doing okay. The chat is delayed because the stream is delayed. Good to hear from you too, man. Second person isn't saying anything in chat, but that's okay. You don't have to. You don't want to. It would just be nice to engage, you know? I got a few hairs sticking up. It's not fine now, but while we wait for one more viewer, we'll just pull this out. You saw a little thing of it. Got a freaking bow and arrow. Look at that. Like I can just freaking aim it at the camera and go pew. But I'm not gonna shoot camera. That's a bad idea. And I got a bow and arrow. I also got this massive lightsaber. It makes noise. And it makes noise when you hit people with it. I don't know why I didn't that time. That's an issue I have with it. That's an issue I have sometimes with it. Don't know why it's not going in yet. There you go. That's that. What else is something interesting in here? Got a Freddy Krueger glove. Oh, chat. Bro. Nah, man, nah. This tiny little Uzi here. It makes the same noise as another little Uzi that I make. Well, I didn't make it. Uzi that I have. Oh, this is a writing stream. It's supposed to be a writing stream, but I'm just waiting for one more person because I don't want to just have 2 viewers, you know? What else do I have? Bag of Pokemon cards. This is the first one on there. This is a big old bag of Pokemon cards. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I don't have a mic hooked up with me right now. This is the mic. That's because I can't find the cable for it, so no mic for today. Hopefully, if this writing stream goes well, I'll do another one of these, and you guys can see progress on what I write. Oh, I got a little mini Lego Darth Vader. Lego Darth Vader is very cool. What else do I have? I have Lego Anakin in there. It's pretty cool. The prequel trilogy is always just so good. I wouldn't say for episode 1 and 2. Episodes 1 and 2 are like kind of mid. Well, episode 1 is worse than episode 2, and episode 2 is far worse than episode 3. Also, I have an Imperial officer right there. I wish I had stormtroopers, but all I have right now is a snowtrooper right there. And I also have little scout trooper for snow right there. This is just a Lego showcase right now. Oh, this rock. This is rock. It's not Lego or anything. It's literally just a rock. Coolest thing you guys have ever seen on the stream, right? Freaking rock. What do I have in here? That's cool. Oh. Leather jackets. If any of you seen it, this was just the little thing that I wrote in here. It's also a calculator. Rock. It's also a little calculator right there. And I'm going to remove that. This is the first thing that I wrote in here. Subtitles, not very important. Things said in French. I'm going to shove that in there. But I got something in there. Also got little scribbles in there. This is so this I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the little notebook that you see Saul Goodman have in the Leather Jackets. Episode 2, I believe. I think it's Honest Person Always. I think except for the 5th episode. But yeah, this is a little booklet that I write in, and besides the scribbles in here, I recommend you guys invite other subscribers because they might want to see, because this is leather jackets right here. I have little questions in here that helped me along with the script. There wasn't really any script. I don't really script things. For any videos. The whole entirety of the leather jackets was not scripted. I just knew what the plot was and I went with it. I just said what I thought was needed to be said. So this was the first instance of somewhat of a script. Episode 2, the whole questioning sequence, I should have shortened it down or something because that was just filler. I didn't want there to be any filler. But we got State Home. Were they armed? What weapon? Who was it with? What did they steal? What happened when they were in the home? And description, which for some of them I was just coming up with the questions. It's still a bit of improv, but it was some guideline to go along with. And this is a little pen here. Little pen. It's got an address on it, so I don't want to show the address. Is there anything else in here that's leather jackets related? It could be leather jackets related. That's something interesting in there to show you. There's nothing leather jackets in there, but I know there's something leather jackets in here. This is one of the main characters in the leather jackets items. This is Joey's goggles that I wear. He always wears these, I guess. They're a bit hairy because this is my cat. Cat loves his fur and everything. But yeah, these are the goggles that Joey wears in the leather jackets. They're from Smith Optics, I think. I think these are from the USA because it says Smith 1965 USA on it. Anything else? Not really. This isn't leather jackets related. Shocker. This is Jenga block. Now, you might be thinking, why we're showing you a Jenga block? Probably shouldn't be telling you this because I'm still in school, but who cares? One of the Jenga sets in school now has a missing Jenga block because I stole it. I was gonna put it in my time capsule, but I never did because I never submitted the time capsule. So I just have a Jenga block now. I could return it, but nothing really advising me to. So I'm not gonna. Oh, I got another leather jackets thing. Um, so in episode 3, you guys might have not seen it because that episode has relatively low views. Um, well, let me just put on the ticker here. It's not ticker. It's lower third. Just put on the lower third, just to know what everybody, just to know, just to let people know. I mean, that's what I meant to say. Um, this was used in episode 3 of the Leather Jackets, season 1, and it was for, it was handcuffs. Now this zip tie, I like this zip tie because let me put it up to there. It's got this little thing right there. See that little thing right there? You put the end through there, and you think, oh, that's you can't get that off now. Actually, with this little thing there, I can take it off. It's like a little lever that that makes it stay, and if you bring it and bend it down, you you can take it off. So I use these as handcuffs. Um, you'll see these in action in the beginning of episode 3, where Saul is arresting Joey. And yeah, I really like the leather jackets. I like the work that I done for it. This could just turn into a leather jacket stream, and I know this stream would probably get like 100 views because freaking leather jacket stream. Oh my god, the leather jackets! At school, I keep getting asked, "When's the next leather jackets episode? When will the leather jacket season 2 come out?" I want it to be this summer. Well, I want production to start this summer. This is where I get into updates that I want to share with everybody, but there's only 2 people in here. Let me see if I can self-promote in my friend's server. Let me just sorry. Copy text. There you go. I just want the link. Well, I got a little on Discord. If you look at my profile picture, I got the touching grass. What's it? Can't remember. Avatar decoration. I got the touching grass avatar decoration, I believe. And that's because I proceeded to get all of the achievements in the Touching Grass April Fool's update game that Discord made. And yeah. Oh, I gotta add one little update. Oh well, now I can be involved with this update. Sure. Oh yeah. Just giving me a notification. Hey, you're live. My emails. This stream really gonna get 2 viewers? Really? Just 2 viewers? Oh, now it's down to 1. That's a shame. Not really a good start. I've been doing nothing for 28 minutes. I understand that. I'm literally just waiting for more people. Because I don't want to just stream to one person. I want to stream to like 3 or 4 people, you know? I don't want to stream to freaking one person. Well, at least knowing that there's one person there is gonna like make me feel bad because it's just only one person that's gonna have to deal with me. Just want more than one person. Bye. Here. Okay. Oh, there's another person. Alright, let's go. Okay. I'm gonna officially start the stream 30 minutes in. It's just 2 people. I don't care. Okay. So, hello. This is supposed to be a writing stream, as you can see on the lower third down there. Before we get into it, I'm going to give some updates for the channel overall. So there was this community post that I made. Let me see. Posts. Was it the last one that I made? Yeah, it was the last one I made 3 months ago. And it says, looks like something has been happening. I wonder what could it be. And it's literally Legos. That was supposed to be a Lego Star Wars stop motion film. So the voice actors haven't really been cooperating, so I'm canceling the Lego Star Wars stop motion film. It's not that I don't want to work with voice actors. No, I want to. It's just that I don't know. I guess I'm not strict enough. Okay. Next update. I'm working on a little test. Um, I'm gonna use some 3D models, I guess. Well, it's only one, but I'm gonna use 3D elements just for a little test to see if I like it or not. I haven't been working on it for a while, but just something to throw out there. Um, I might be working on something with another creator. Um, I know who it is, but I don't want to say. And okay, so this is the most important one. Um, I think I am good with actors. I think I'm good with actors. There is this one community that I can reach out to, and I feel like they can provide me with actors for this project. But I need a writer. I need a writer or two for the Leather Jacket season 2 and 3. Um, I need a writer because I don't know. Like, I want these 2 seasons to be at least somewhat scripted. I don't want what happened to season 1 to happen with season 2 because essentially since I was working by myself, um, I mean I had some help. I'm not gonna say I was working all by myself through the entire Leather Jackets production for season 1, but for the majority of it, I was working by myself. I was filming by myself. I was acting by myself. I was coming up with lines by myself. It was not scripted. Pretty much all of it was improv, except for where is it? Except for this that I mentioned earlier, which has little things in it that I wrote down to help me stay on track when I was acting as Saul Goodman, the police officer. But I want season 2 and season 3 to be better than like the production aspect and just the quality of the episodes to be better than season 1. Season 1 was a hit. Episode 1 literally has 300 views on it, which is insane. Like, I never expected the Leather Jackets to pop off as much as it did. Like, I knew it was going to be big. I knew it was going to be big, but I didn't know it was going to be this big. Not this big, is probably like you can't really see it. It's probably up there. I never knew it would be that big. It had the first episode has 300 views. 300 views. Now, I don't think it's exactly 300 views right now, but I'm not going to go check because I just know that's over 300 views. But yeah, if I want to, if I want this project or season 2 to come out on schedule, I'm gonna need your help. I need a writer, and if you're local to the area, I need a camera person because I want to do some acting too. I want to be the director and an actor, one of the main parts in it. But yeah, I need a camera operator. I can be a camera operator sometimes, but I can't have a camera operator and an actor. So I need a full camera operator. But if somebody doesn't want, if somebody was like, I'll only be the camera operator if I get an acting role. I can't do that. So I can't do that. I might make another post somewhere. Hello, viewer. I don't know if you're the same person that was tuning in earlier, but I was just talking about some updates, and I'm on the last update that I'm going to share today, which is about needing help with the leather jackets, season 2 and 3, because I want to start production on both seasons this summer, and I would like to have writers and they're gone again. Dang, it's only one person, but I don't really care. I want to get started with the stream. But yeah, I only have I only have myself right now. But with season 2 and 3, I can't be my own. I can't be my myself with the ambitions that I have. Um, and if you want to see a season 2 and 3, there's only going to be 3 seasons of the Leather Jackets. Sorry to say. I don't think there's going to be a way to make a future of the Leather Jackets. If you want more Leather Jackets content, you could literally go watch. Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64, which is a 4-episode series. It's not a show; it's a 4-episode series. And you could the Leather Jackets season 1 is supposed to be a prequel to Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64. So if you have not seen the Leather Jackets before, highly recommend watching it first before you watch Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64, because season 1 is the prequel to Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64. The acronym for it is super long, so I don't want to say it. But season 2 and 3, I want season 2 to be after Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64. And some things in season 1, if you don't watch after the credits, let me tell you right now, there is end credit scenes in the Leather Jackets season 1. There is end credit scenes. For season 2, I don't know if I want to have post credit scenes. But I want there to be cold opens. And if you don't know what a cold open is, it's a scene that plays before the intro. It's a scene that plays before the intro. So I want in both season 2 and 3 we have cold opens. And I don't know how long each episode. I don't know how long I want each episode to be. Season 1, there was average 9 to 10 minute episodes, but in season 2 and 3, I probably want around that same average. Then again, if I have writers, I can control that, and I don't have any writers, and I need writers because I have a general plan for what I want for seasons 2 and 3, but I don't know the general overview for each episode. And that is what I had for season 1 because that was easy. I already had characters and I came up with brand new ones. And like it was so easy. Like literally Bob, Joey, Arnold, and Jonathan. All four of those were literally episode names. And End Times was the fifth one, which is, I'm pretty sure, the second most popular. I'm going to go check and see. Playlists. View full playlist. Oh, yeah. Episode 1 has an astounding 322 views, which was uploaded a year ago. And I'm shocked. This show started a year ago, and that's insane. This is the first highest because it's literally 300 views. Oh, episode 5 has 200 views. So yeah, it is the second highest. That is so cool that season 1 has the first highest, and episode 1 has the first highest, and episode 5 has the second highest. And I'm just gonna rank how high all these are. First highest, second highest. Third highest is episode 2. Fourth highest is episode 4. And criminally, well, not criminally, because I feel like this episode 3 is the the fifth highest, which is last place, has 53 views. The rest of the episodes literally have hundreds of views. I mean, episode 3 is halfway there. It's almost there, but I can kind of see why it's not there, because I feel like episode 3 was the lowest effort I put in the season, because at that point I was losing motivation. Yeah, I know. Losing motivation halfway through the show is kind of dumb. But that's what happened. I lost motivation episode 3, and that's why I think that episode has the amount of views it has right now. Because I think it's one of the lowest effort episodes I made. It's so low effort, I can't even remember the plot of that episode, but I can remember the original plot. This is a writing stream. I can show this because it involves writing. It is not exactly the thing that is in the title and this lower third, but I'm gonna show it if I can find it. I hope I didn't delete it. It's not finished. I'm telling you right now, it is not finished. I think I stopped finishing it. I stopped at episode 4. Yeah, right there. Okay. Screen. This is actually Leather Jackets goated. This stream is like Leather Jackets coded. There. Oh wait, I'm gonna wait for the tab to load. I'm being way fast. The tab has got to load first. There's probably a lot of stuff that has to load. And also I am streaming, so that's probably not helping. Alright, now we can share screen. Will it show me? It won't show me. Let me see here. I need to add in. Okay, I have a new scene here. Picture in picture. Oh, this one is also a picture in picture. What? Why is it not showing me? Let's delete this scene. It's probably because I have. Hold on. Will it show me? It's probably because I have the chat overlay. Let me. Yes, there it is. Because it's not showing me that I'm there because of the chat overlay. But just letting you guys know I can't see chat right now. So if I can go to chat. So I'm not going to be checking chat. I'm literally just going to be telling you this. So this is the plot for the Leather Jackets. This is the plot, the original plot that I wrote up. Yeah, see, look, episode 4, time. Wait, Jonathan Beckett isn't a name title, but still, those 4. I'm gonna put this backstage for a minute because I just want to explain and bring back the overlay. All of the episode names were based on characters, except for Time of Events is about a character, but it is not directly named after a character. But yeah. If I bring this back, you can see that episode 4 was called Time and I was trying to make an example. Okay, so let me read you the first episode, my original plan for the first episode of The Jackets. And it was a series back then. It wasn't even a show. That's how early in development this was. I wish I could see when this document was named. Let me see here. Can I view version history? See version history. When is this? This was made in May 31st, 2023. May 31st. This was created May 31st. That is insane, and it was in 2023. Let me see here. I'm just checking because it says a year ago, but I want to check the exact date. Year ago. So it was the first episode was premiered July 21st, 2023. So if I am mathing correctly, and I know that I'm not, but this was 2 months and 10 days in development. That is how far along this was. A lot can change in 2 months. So I don't think this was highly ambitious, but episode 2 I know was insanely ambitious. Okay. So episode 1, Arnold Blankovich. This was my original intention for episode 1 here. So episode 1, Arnold Blankovich. This episode follows Arnold, an assassin who works for gunman service. He is ordered to hunt down a former associate, Emran Zarkov, another former assassin who now runs a gang known as Black Punch. The reason why Emran needs to be assassinated is because he has stopped many drug deals from many gangs in the area, and they are tired of it. It would take multiple attempts to assassinate him, but Arnold would get the job done. At the end of the episode, Arnold is recruited by Jonathan Beckett to join the infamous gang, the Leather Jackets. The post-credit scene reveals the rookie cop Saul Goodman, who is revealed trying to find Emran Zarkov. You will notice a little theme here. You'll notice a little theme here. It's going to get interesting for the post-credit scene. So this is episode 2, Joey Hudson. This episode follows Joey Hudson, an infamous bank robber who is wanted in all nations, all counties, and in all towns. Joey usually wears jeans, a jacket, a mask, goggles, and a hat to hide his face. But the CPD, Wyoming Police Department, is heavily surveying every bank in Wyoming. He also needs to get special ID to get in the bank. Joey breaks into someone's house, which is revealed to be C.E. Yancey's house. Now, if you don't know who C.E. Yancey is, I don't remember what kind of content that he makes, but he was a former partner of mine. He is in many of my videos. I believe, like, he has helped on the production of season 1 of the Leather Jackets. I don't think he'd come back to help, though, because I don't know what's going through his head right now. But C.E. Yancey's house to rob him of his ID. C.E. Yancey puts up a fight, but he eventually loses. Joey takes the ID to the bank and just barely gets in. Joey carries a bag with him. He doesn't go to one of the machines. He goes to one of the bathrooms and changes into his regular outfit. Then he gets held up by cops. But Joey just barely gets away. Saul was there trying to stop the robbery, but Joey got away. Then it's revealed to Saul that Emran Zarkov is dead. At the end of the episode, we see Joey running away from the bank into an alleyway. Jonathan Beckett was waiting there for him. Joey was shocked, but he doesn't need to be. Freaking out that he let a robber get away Wait, oh, that's the post-credit scene. It doesn't need to be. Jonathan then recruits Joey to the Leather Jackets. A post-credit scene reveals uh, a post-credit scene is Saul Goodman freaking out that he let a robber get away and the fact that Emran Zarkov is dead. But he finds new leads to Arnold Blankovich, who Saul is also trying to find. This was going to be a banger. Like, if I actually filmed all of this, if I actually got permission to do all of this, this would have been a banger. Anyways, go to Bob Doug. I feel like this episode would have been better than the product that we got, that I filmed with this. So, episode 3, Bob Doug. This episode follows Bob Doug, an insane man who really loves guns. Bob would be seen trying to rob a gun store, but he gets too crazy and gets arrested. Only to get bailed out by the one and only Joey Hudson. Past connections would be brought up. Then Joey pops the question of joining the Leather Jackets. Bob declines at first, telling Joey that he does things on his own. But Joey brings up the question of how many times has he really ever successfully robbed a gun store on his own. Bob thinks that is a good point, but still declines due to him still wanting to work alone. Joey finally backs off, telling him that if he wants to join, just contact him and he will meet with his supervisor to visit Bob. The next night, Bob tries to the same gun store, but almost fails again when Joey popped in and saved the day. Bob then realizes Joey's point and joins the Leather Jackets. The post-credit scene is about Saul Goodman trying to best his co-workers and succeeds to find the exact location to where Arnold Blankovich is. This would have also been a banger. I'm envisioning all of this in my head, and that would have been a banger. Like, an insane episode. Like, dude. Anyways, episode 4, timed events. So, there is nothing to see here because I think I lost motivation in writing all of this, but here I go anyway. So, episode 4, timed events. This episode follows Jonathan Beckett, a young entrepreneur trying to start a business, a drug dealing business. He tries to sell his product Knocker, which is just a weaker version of Vibranium. He nearly gets arrested when he is taken by a mysterious man. He wakes up with a bag over his head that gets violently removed from his head. So, reading that, I think I can. Let me just put this in the back burner and let me show the overlay. So, just reading that, I think I can come up with what was supposed to happen for this episode. So, the bag gets ripped off of his head, and it reveals the character of Mr. Green. And Mr. Green would try to convince him to join the Leather Jackets, but he doesn't succeed because Jonathan doesn't really want to join the Leather Jackets. So Mr. Green, knowing that he will get what he wants, backs off for now, but then just leaves him be and lets him free. But he, I guess Jonathan was supposed to be caught, or no, this was going to be similar to what happened in episode 4. He would be walking back to his house, and then he trying to think. Then he encounters his future self, who time travels back in time, uh, and um, and convinces his younger self to join the Leather Jackets, and he does. And I don't know what the post-credit scene was going to be for that, but I know it must have been something to do with Saul and Arnold. I wish I could go back in the past and freaking tell myself to finish writing that. But then, if that happened, then this whole timeline probably would be different. Trying to think. Episode 5, I knew it would be the coalition of all the episodes. I knew that episode 5 would be the penultimate ending. That would end the series in a bang. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I knew it was always going to be that ending. I knew the Leather Jackets was going to end in 5 episodes. And now let's compare to what we got. So I'm going to boot you, and we're on here. Let's compare to what we got. So let's share screen. Share. Let's turn off the overlay just so I can see that. So this is, I'm not going to play the video because this whole stream would just be the Leather Jackets, and I don't want that. But 322 views. That is insane. I'm just going to read the description. Arnold comes across a mysterious figure who has a task for him, a former associate. Will Arnold do what the man asks? That is pretty similar to what we got in the first episode. But it shows that he. I'm just gonna boot you for a second and overlay. That is pretty similar to what we got. If I can recall the plot of this episode, the current plot of this episode. Arnold Blankovich, he is still an assassin. We don't know who, but in the plot, we now know Gunman Services. Gunman Services was the assassin company. I don't think that company would be known, because if it was, then the police would have shut it down. But yeah. We know that he worked for an assassination company, and he gets approached by Jonathan to tell him to assassinate Emran Zarkov. That never changes, but we don't see him do multiple attempts. We just get him to do it in one. He does it in one shot, and well, assassinate. I don't want to show. I don't want to do any spoilers for. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna go through all the episodes anyway. So, episode 2, highly different from what we got. Joey, depicted in the second episode, is a house robber. He is not a bank robber, like what was supposed to be shown in my original vision. And yeah, well, wait, I'm thinking about what I planned to do for that episode, but yeah, we see Joey as a house robber, and he gets approached by Jonathan Beckett to rob a certain person's house, and that would be Switchgamer 64, and it would be before they had a rivalry with him. But I guess that establishes the connection of Switchgamer 64 knowing the leather jackets because he was robbed by one. But yeah, the second episode wasn't really what I had envisioned. Kind of saddened me a little bit because what I had envisioned was I wanted to get the permission from a bank around town to film in so I could, film all of those scenes that I wanted to do. But thinking back on it now, if I even got permission to film those scenes, I would have spent a lot of time in those bank. I would have spent a lot of time in the bank. I would have spent that's because I play all these characters and stuff. I play all of these characters except for some goons and yeah, I play all those characters, and trying to think, yeah, even if I got the permission, a lot of time in the bank. Switching costumes and stuff because I play all these characters, and trying to think what else. If there were somehow people in the bank, I would probably be like, "Hey, do you want to be a background extra for my production?" And that would be pretty awkward to ask people if they wanted to be a background extra, they wanted to be recorded and stuff. That'd be a bit confusing. I'm trying to think what else. That episode, the original vision for that episode was just too ambitious. Bank robber, too ambitious. The first episode was manageable. If I understood my capabilities back then, before I started filming, I probably wouldn't have written so ambitiously. Because I'm working by myself, literally. But yeah, episode 2 was way too ambitious. So it was dumbed down in what you see now, and a bunch of filler. Don't like the filler. I wish I could remove it, but it's it's a bit important. Oh, and also I forgot to cover the post-credit scene in episode 1. We don't really see Saul in episode 1. Um, we only see him in episode 2 and 3. Do we see him in 4? No, we don't see him in 4, but we do see him in 5. But yeah, we don't really see Saul Goodman that much. He was supposed to play a bigger role. He was supposed to be finding the leather jackets. I couldn't kill Saul off because he appears in Don't Do This to Switch Hammer 64 episode 4. So I couldn't kill him off. I knew I couldn't. So that's a connection between the original plot and what is shown today. And sorry about that. But yeah, episode 3 would have been way better if that went through. But the post couldn't have made any sense. So, like, if I did film the episode, I would have changed the post credit scene to match. But yeah, I was talking about the post credit scene in episode 1. So in episode 1, post credit scene, we see this takes place literally right before the first episode of Don't Do This to Switch Hammer 64. Like, literally, Leather Jackets takes place. All of that takes place in before Don't Do This to Switch Hammer 64. And some of the post-credit scenes for the episodes take place right before Don't Do This to Switch Hammer 64 episode 1. But yeah, we see Joey getting Arnold to print off an assassination paper for Switch Hammer 64 me. And that was literally it. Episode 2, we get to see what was the post-credit scene for episode 2? Was it just them breaking in? Yeah. It was them breaking into Switch Hammer 64's house. Yeah, let's read the description of episode 2. I got it pulled up here. Episode 2. Jonathan Beckett and Joey Hudson finally meet up as friends for what seemed like forever. But Jonathan has a task for Joey: rob someone's house to get money. Joey accepts, but will he succeed without getting arrested? Spoiler alert, he does get caught, but not in this episode. He gets caught in the next episode. Let me just boot you. Chat overlay. But yeah, episode 2 had the credit scene of them breaking into the house and successfully robbing. Well, not successfully, but like successfully entering the house without failure. Episode 3. Let's read the description for episode 3. Let's put you in. So the description: Hudson has been caught. Jonathan can't send anyone to go bail him out. It is up to Bob Doug, a friend of Joey's, to bail him out of jail. Will Bob succeed? So, thinking about that description, we get to see. Let's just put you back in. We get to see that there is a parallel for episode 3 original plot to now. We get to see that there is. I might make a video about this. Might say it all on the stream, but I might make a proper video about it because I know it'd probably get a bunch of views. But we get to see in the original plot that Joey and Bob have a pre-existing relationship. We also get to see that Joey and Bob have a pre-existing relationship in this one. Though I don't think I would be able to separate the two. But yeah, that was a parallel thing for those. That wouldn't change. There is a scene in episode 3 that involves a gun store and how the gun store is not good because the gun selection is weak, and not realizing it now. Not realizing it then, but thinking about it now, I feel like that was a rip on my gun collection back then. It wasn't really that good, but now I have so many Nerf guns. Like, it literally fills an entire bin. Literally fills an entire bin. That's crazy. You can see one in the background right there. Right there. Fortnite star. But yeah, it was insane. That rip. But anyways, that's like the gun store. Like, the gun store scene was different because the gun store is mentioned twice in the original plot. Because it was just him trying to rob the store. I looked at my original plot when I was developing all of these episodes. I should have finished writing what I had originally intended for the show. Because if I was smart enough to just look back, like, as I'm developing each episode, to look back at my original intention, put some little bit in it. I mean, yeah, some of the original intentions are in there, but I feel like there would have been a lot more connections to my original intention than to not look back at it, because that's what I did. I didn't look back at it. But yeah, episode 3 was a weak episode. But if I uploaded what was written down on that, it would have not been a weak episode, because I feel like that was a banger plot, especially with the post-credit scenes. The post-credit scenes were also banger. But the post-credit scene that you guys got was trying to think. It takes place. It is the original plot for "Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64" episode 2. Like that post-credit scene is the canon to what actually happened. The real episode of "Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64" episode 2 is like a video game. But what really happened was in that post-credit scene. It was literally that fast, bang bang, and then who are you, and who are you working for? And then Joey's like, Jonathan Beckett, and then bang. That scene actually, like me shooting Joey like that. I got inspiration a little bit from. Gosh dang it! The thing I was playing with dropped. Hold on. There you go. I got inspiration from Breaking Bad. Spoiler alert: if you have not seen Breaking Bad, please go watch it. But Breaking Bad, in Ozymandias, when the neo-Nazi is pointing a gun at Hank, and Hank's like, "Do what you're gonna do," but he gets cut off and gets shot. That inspired me a little bit when I was writing or when I was filming that scene. I know that. But anyways, and that year that I made the leather jackets, I just got a lot of inspiration for Breaking Bad. Like, well, Breaking Bad was a big phase, a year-long phase. But then it moved to The Walking Dead, and then it moved to Invincible, and now I'm just in the middle of all of my phases. I watch FNAF content. I watch Walking Dead content. I watch Invincible content. Primarily Invincible content. But I watch Star Wars content. A lot of that stuff. But anyways, yeah, back on track. Yeah, that was the post-credit scene for episode 3 of The Leather Jackets is what really happened in episode 2 of Don't Do This to Sword Generation 4. Let's move on to episode 4, which is timed events. Now, that's another parallel to the original intention, because let me see description. This is a longer description. Let's do you for now. Bring me back here. So here we go. Let's read the description. Jonathan Beckett, a high school history teacher, is walking away from one of his teacher friends when he is kidnapped by an unknown gang, the Leather Jackets. Their leader proposes a deal that he cannot refuse. Will Jonathan accept the man's proposal? The man that the description is referencing to is Mr. Green. And that is what the original intention was. Mr. Green was going to kidnap Jonathan Beckett and make him join the Leather Jackets. Mr. Green was a Gus Fring type character that I wanted to write. Gus Fring type character. Because he's so smart. He knows how to cover everything up. He knows how to operate the gang behind the scenes, but that's one of his weaknesses. That's why I want to put out season 2. I'm not gonna really get into what I want for season 2 right now, because I guess that will be for a later episode, a later video or something. But yeah, yes, episode 4, the original plot, I think it was always going to be that way. Original, future Jonathan Beckett would time travel, tell past Jonathan to go take the deal. and then back off, and then past Jonathan was going to be like, you know what, I'm going to do it, and that's what the original intention was, and it's pretty much similar to what came out, because instead of him selling a knockoff product called Knocker, which was Ibralium. Now, you have to understand Ibralium if you want to understand the Knocker. So Ibralium is two things. Number one, it was supposed to be a show. That, well, not a show. It was supposed to be a full-length, 1 hour long movie that I wanted to make. That was going to be after the Leather Jackets. Like, takes place after season 1 of the Leather Jackets. It involved this character. His name was Nigel, and this movie, if you thought literally putting Saul Goodman and Walter White and Jesse Pinkman into the Leather Jackets and Don't Do This to Switch Camera 64, you had no idea how big my Breaking Bad addiction was. Like, Ibralium was literally going to be the most Breaking Bad coded show you've ever seen in your entire life. It was going to reference Emran Zarkov, but that wouldn't have made any sense because Emran is dead at this point. If you watched episode 5, sorry for spoilers, but trying to think here. Can't think when I'm yawning. But yeah, literally, it was going to be so Breaking Bad coded. Ibralium is the title of the movie, and it is a drug that that is supposed to be in the in this universe that I'm creating, and trying to think. Involved this teenager, a literal teenager. The teenager was going to make Ibralium a different way from everyone else, and he was going to work for the Leather Jackets, and the Ibralium was going to literally boom and like be the best drug product in work. And then the teenager gets involved with some spiritual shit. Like, I think the teenager kills a guy who had this ring on him. Ring was bound to the teenager, and the teenager. So, like, how it was bound, we wouldn't find out until the very end, until near the very end. Was going to bleed until the day the teenager dies. When the ring is at its bloodiest, that is when the teenager dies. And we were going to see the progression. The ring was going to bleed, and the ring was going to be at its bloodiest, and then the teenager dies. But we get to see what happens. So, but yeah, the teenager does that, and Ibralium, like, this new version of Ibralium, biggest thing in the world. And then the teenager is in his house, and a intruder breaks into the house and um, kills the teenager, but the ring acts up, and a beaming white light a blinding white light was going to appear and blind the viewer and the intruder until the teenager would disappear. I don't know what I was going to do with that, but the teenager disappeared, and the intruder's like, "What the heck? Why? How did this happen?" The intruder was literally just going to be an intruder. They weren't important to any future anything, and then there's also earlier in the movie we find Switch Gamer 64 is now a big YouTuber, and he is donating money to this small local business that sells candy or something. I can't remember what it was, but he finds out after the teenager dies, oh my god, it is an Vibranium front, the one of the biggest in the world. I'm gonna withdraw my money and I'm going to call the police. And that's what Gamer 64 does. Withdraws the money, calls the police. That's how the leather jackets get arrested for like 20 years. And yeah. There's supposed to be a 20-year period between the leather jackets getting like the leather jackets rising to power, then getting arrested, to the leather jackets to Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64 episode 1. There was supposed to be a 20-year time gap. I think I fucked up the math. I have a Google Doc labeled the official Switch Gamer 64 timeline. It's literally the timeline of everything. I want to step back from that timeline because I've been working so much. Like, I've made so many ways. Like, I've made so many original ideas that I have made connect to this timeline. I just want to back off. I don't want to mess with that timeline anymore. Except for season 2 and 3. I'm pretty sure season 2 and 3 of the leather jackets are probably going to be the last things I will mess with that timeline, because I'm just saying right now, both seasons 2 and 3 and start after the last episode of Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64. So, like, before the events of Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64, the series, is season 1 of the leather jackets. And then after the series of Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64 is the leather jackets seasons 2 and 3. That's how it's going to be. I'm probably going to put a warning in front of the first episode of season 2, which will probably be like, if you haven't seen Don't Do This to Switch Gamer 64, the series, like all of the series, please go watch that before watching season 2, because that will give more context to what's happening, to why the characters from season 1 are no longer present. But yeah, that was all for timed events. Yeah, we don't see Jonathan selling Knocker. We see him being a high school history teacher, and that was going to connect to Vibranium, because how this teenager from Librarium finds out about the leather jackets is because his history teacher is Jonathan Beckett. So he's like, oh my gosh, history teacher, Jonathan Beckett. So insane. But yeah. Yeah, he does that. But yeah, he's a history teacher instead of, does it say a teenager? What does it say? A young entrepreneur trying to start a business, a drug business. So he is supposed to be a young entrepreneur. So I assume that's supposed to be like him being like a 20-year-old or something. Maybe even teens. Who the hell knows? Past me does. This plot was clearly like William was going to be a drug, but I didn't know I wanted it to be a movie also, so I was gonna have this big thing. Like, I feel like Ibrahim was gonna play a small role until I came up with the movie, but that never ends up getting released because that movie was also way too ambitious. You gotta stop getting so ambitious. And that's why season 2 and 3 need help, because it is way too ambitious. But yeah, that was the comparison between the original plot of season 4 original to what we have now. I'm gonna go read the description for episode 5. Let's bring you back here. Scroll down. Episode 5. Joey is questioned on Arnold Blankovich's whereabouts. Jonathan Beckett, as the representative of the fully formed gang, sends Arnold to assassinate Saul Goodman. As Arnold prepares for the shot, he meets an old foe. Now, if you haven't seen episode 5, you should probably go see that, because it is a banger. I'm telling you right now, literally a banger. Now that everybody has gone, except for one person. One person always been there. Anyway, I don't know what the original plot for episode 5 was going to be. I think it was going to be an attempted assassination, just like what we had for episode 5 right now. Like, it was going to be an attempted assassination, but it misses and it fails, and everyone's like, what the hell, now we can't assassinate him again. Now we can't assassinate him right now because he knows, I guess. Or I believe something similar would have happened to what happened at the end of episode 2 that we have now, where Saul Goodman fails to catch Joey, but he sees Arnold, and he's like, hey, and he tries to run after him, and Arnold drops his papers, and then we get to see an assassination paper for Saul. But we don't get to see that. And I actually made an assassination paper for Saul. I made one for him, but I never got to print it out because my printer doesn't have any ink. And I'm very sad about that. Anyway, yeah, that's freaking that's what happened in episode 2. But I feel like the original plot was going to have that similarity where Saul would find his own assassination paper, and he would know that there was a hit on him. And when they tried to, um, and they missed, they knew that Saul knew, and they wouldn't be able to catch up anymore. They weren't able to assassinate him anymore because he knew, and they can't assassinate him because of that. Um, so yeah, that's it. That's what happened. Well, that's what I believe, what I thought would happen. But we have what is there now, and what is there now is um, Saul interrogates Joey, and then he shows him about Arnold Lankovich's folder that he dropped in episode 2, and Joey lies, and then he gets set free because of Bob, and and then he reports back to the Leather Jackets, and Leather Jackets know. So now they're like, okay, well, let's go assassinate Saul because he knows too much. So they go to try and assassinate Saul. Well, Arnold is tasked to assassinate Saul, but then Emran Zarkov appears, saying that, you shot me in the shoulder, bro. Not really good aim, eh? I'm gonna shoot you in the head now. But then, before he could do that, Joey appears and shoots. Oh, sorry. I have a little water back here. Hold on. So, love warm water. Psych, I don't really like it. It's just I don't want to go downstairs and refill it. Anyways, yes. Joey shoots Emran Zarkov, kills him violently, and Joey ushers Arnold out of there. Then we see Saul is not dead. But yeah, it's Leather Jackets season 1 was really good. I liked it. There was an episode that I didn't really like because I put low effort into it. Some of the episodes had filler, and yeah. The Leather Jackets. If you or anyone you know wants to help me write the Leather Jackets episode seasons 2 and 3, reach out to me because I can't pay anyone. Literally can't pay anyone. And yeah. can't pay anyone. All of this is gonna hopefully be done for free. Because I am literally just a guy who is in high school right now and does not have a job. So yeah, that is all the updates. We're almost 2 hours into the stream. I don't really feel like streaming right now, so I might do this another time. I'm just gonna rename the stream real quick. Literally just gonna rename the stream. Edit. Man. Talk about. Will it show me what I'm typing? The weather jacket for an hour and 50 minutes. Literally, that's what the stream has become. Hold on, did it save? No, it didn't. Hold on. I'm gonna rewrite all that again. Save. Save. Yeah, I'm gonna boot you now. Remove. Will it show me the edit? Yep, there. Doesn't show it up here, but I don't really care. So yeah, that was the stream. Man talks about the leather jackets for an hour and 50 minutes. That's pretty much it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this live stream, please leave it a like, put a comment down below if you want to see anything different. And yeah, it's an hour and 50-minute stream, so I'm probably gonna end it now. I will try to stream tomorrow with a serious writing stream. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy your day. See ya.